Let's welcome back to MidPoint former civil rights lawyer in the Department of Justice and the author of Injustice, Exposing the Radical Agenda of the Obama Justice Administration, J. Christian Adams. Christian, let's go ahead and turn now to Eric Holder, because I mentioned as we began the hour here the things that many people will want to clean up from the Holder administration. Is it fair to say that he has been maybe at best, a mediocre attorney general?
Well, at best, but that's giving him more credit than he deserves. He has been the most corrosive force on lawlessness, on the rule of law, that I think America's had for a very long time. He has really adopted the idea that his office is a weapon of power to help your political allies and hurt your political foes. He goes after Arizona, Texas on immigration and voter ID, and he hugs Al Sharpton. He is a extremely aggressive wielder of government power to help a political agenda.
Fair to say then that a lot of the attorney generals that we've seen in recent generations, that there has been no greater instance of an attorney general strictly sticking to political cronyism than actually the rule of law?
Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, Janet Reno has more similarities to people like John Ashcroft and Richard Thornburg than Holder does. I mean, Holder is a total outlier. He is the culmination of decades of law school education, teaching the students in elite law schools that law should be used as a political weapon. It's called critical legal studies. And so Holder is finally the guy who did it, and America's suffering for it.
There are a lot of people, and again, let's play both ends here. There are a lot of people who will say that Eric Holder is, simply put, someone who is going to push the agenda forward of certain civil rights groups, despite the fact that they may not have any standing, despite the fact there may not be a problem. Others say, wait a minute, he's just trying to basically take care of all the problems that have been set in front of him, and he's trying to right the ship and put things right in America and put us on that even-handed civil rights balance beam, if you will, here. Where's the truth?
Well, you know, using your office to do what you describe is great, unless you happen to be in a nation built on the rule of law. Take a look at what Holder's done to peaceful abortion protesters. In the series of cases, they're called FACE, Federal Access to Clinic, FACE cases. Holder has gone after peaceful Christian and Catholic pro-life abortion protesters who did absolutely nothing wrong, and the courts scolded the Justice Department, issued sanctions against Justice Department lawyers, but Holder kept bringing these cases to harass peaceful pro-life protesters because they're his political enemies. And so, great. Some people might love that he's doing it. You know, some gangsters in NARAL, the National Abortion Rights League, might love that Holder's taking their side aggressively. But it's a gangster government. It's immoral. It's just outrageous that this Justice Department has targeted political enemies like they have.
We are waiting now, as most of the country is, to see what happens in Ferguson, Missouri. We are told the grand jury will have some sort of a decision soon, maybe a week at best. But in your opinion, if this blows up, which it likely will, is Eric Holder and the Attorney General's office, the Justice Department itself, partially to blame for what happens there, if indeed that community explodes, depending on what that decision is?
Yeah, extraordinarily to blame. Don't forget, Eric Holder flew out there on the 757, Joe Biden's plane, and he went to Ferguson, and he talked about how he was a black man. He injected race directly into it all. He talked about how the DOJ would be looking at everything, implying the inadequacy of the local officials. And so he tainted the outcome to not indict from the very beginning. He got people believing that what happened was a crime, that the police officer was in the wrong. He talked about the police being the problem. And so if there is a problem in Ferguson, Missouri, Eric Holder will shoulder a sizable amount of the blame.
20 seconds left. How long do you think it'll take to clean up the Justice Department when a new president comes in 2016?
Can't be. There's Holder-embedded people that cannot be fired, career civil servants. They're not going anywhere. They will scuttle and sabotage any Republican effort to clean up the DOJ, even in a Republican White House.
That is a scary thought indeed. Let's remind everybody again, J. Christian Adams, his book is called Injustice, Exposing the Racial Agenda of the Obama Justice Department. Christian, thank you so much for joining us. I have a feeling that we'll be talking again.
Anytime. Take care.
All right, take care. Short break, and we return with legal expert Heather Hansen and perhaps the strangest law passed last week during the midterm elections. You might not be all that shocked it happened in the South. And at 34 minutes after the hour, Wall Street and numbers from the Money Master. That's all coming up right here, where every single day on MidPoint, we question everything. Stay with us, everybody.